Hello everybody, Sean Woolley here from Cloud9 Spain. With me today I have Therese Rosenberg and also Darren Simons on the other side of things today. Darren, how are you coping with that?
I'm coping well. A rose between two thorns.
Who? You?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
we're here to talk about gated communities, but also we're here to talk about where you can find land to have a villa, with a bit of space. Because what we noticed as we came out of COVID, we noticed that the main priorities for a lot of people who wanted family villas was peace, privacy and security. So we thought we'd kind of bundle this up into, although we're covering a few different angles here, we thought we'd bundle it into one chat. That wish list has kind of continued, hasn't it, over the last few years since we came out of COVID. People still want properties with those characteristics. People are looking for space, looking for security, looking for privacy. Hard to find. And a lot of people think that there's going to be lots and lots of choice here on the coast, but there's not. And they're restricted to quite a few little pockets. I think we're in one at the moment, aren't we, in Montemayor? Here we have our studio in Montemayor. This is definitely one where you get a good land size, you get a bit of privacy, and we've got a gated community.
Well, I couldn't agree more on that, because what we have here in Montemayor, something very unique, obviously, is that everybody is guaranteed their privacy and is guaranteed their views, and that within in a secure community, yet being very, very close to everything. Because obviously, the closer we get to the beach, the smaller the plots are, if there are any plots, and we don't get any views because it's flat land then.
Yeah.
So I think absolutely that Montemayor will be growing more and more over the next coming years, but still granting privacy, peace, and security.
Yeah.
Because I think that the clients, what I notice from clients that I'm out with that are looking for a house for themselves to use, that is what they want. If we're looking at investment property, there may be other factors that are important for them, but a lot of people still want to be here and to enjoy the life that we have down here.
I think it does boil down to budget as well, because we were saying the other day that there's just not enough land left now, is there? And you can get some of the legacy villas down in Marbella, but you've got to pay the price. I mean, we're talking millions, aren't we? So if you want that down there, you can have it, providing it's available, but it comes at a price, a premium price as well. And I think a lot of people, there's this got a big beach side, but you're not necessarily going to get the space that you want. Heading up to the hills, you can get some options, but you've got La Zagaleta, which of course is ultimately premium. But then you have got other resorts, Flamingos, Alcaria, places like that you're getting a bit of space. But again, we're looking at Montemayor again. We always come back to Montemayor, don't we?
Yeah,
It's one of our faves. Not just our area though, but it's certainly offering a lot at the moment.
Well, I think you've got four main ones in Benavis, haven't you? You've got, in terms of security and space, you've got Montemayor, Marbella Club Golf Resort, which is next door to us here, which I believe is like a little mini Zagaleta, because it has the 18-hole golf course, which is semi-private. It has the lovely little, I call it the wigwam, but it's like a little safari lodge, clubhouse, restaurant there, and also the equestrian centre. So it has a lot of the same characteristics as Zagaleta, but probably for half the price. And there, again, you get decent plot sizes. So you've got Montemayor, Marbella Club Golf Resort, and then the other side of Benavis, you've got the neighbouring resorts of La Zagaleta and also El Madrigal. They are probably older than Montemayor, Marbella Club in terms of how long they've been going, and they've got a bit of a head start, I think. But because of that, the prices are higher.
Yeah.
But Zagaleta obviously is probably the most premium exclusive address on the whole of the Costa del Sol, if not the whole of Spain, where you have one private golf course, one semi-private golf course, equestrian centre, lots of land, very tough security at the entrance. So that is probably the most exclusive named place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably in Europe.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most exclusive places in Europe. On the other hand, you have to want to be up there because it is tucked away a little bit. It has its benefits, but I've also had clients say, no, it's too far away from me. So
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing is that we have options that we can show and that we can provide, and obviously the pros and the cons of each
Absolutely.
gated community.
It's
And not
interesting.
everybody has 10 million euros.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
And that's
absolutely.
the entry level there is about 3 or 4 at the moment, but the kind of the spot at the moment is about between 7 and probably 15 million, which is a
Yeah.
lot of money.
It is. It
Yeah.
absolutely is.
You can find the properties in that sort of similar look as we've spoken about there, where you can get anything from sort of the 2 million mark, you know, or just slightly under or just slightly over as well. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because I live with land around me. Sean, you do as well, and of course you do as well. Sarah's up in the hills.
Yeah.
I like that. I like having a little bit of space around and not too many people. And I think you're absolutely right. There seems to be quite a trend of that now. You know, you've got the sea views, but you're not on the beach. But you've got the sea in the distance.
Things are definitely moving back because it's affordability, isn't it? You know, as you said earlier, the land is so much more expensive the closer you get to the coast. So the land size is likely to be a lot less.
And I think, you know, the thing about, okay, of course we still have the clients, we still see the clients who want to be walking distance to amenities or to the beach, which is very, very difficult within a gated community. But on the other hand, we're so used to, we have to drive sea on the coast, whether we're going to one place or to the other. So a lot of clients are saying, okay, if I have a 5-6 minute drive or 10-minute drive to a shop, it's nothing, because when I'm in London, I'm in Copenhagen, or I'm in LA or whichever, I drive half an hour to get to a place.
I noticed that in some of these developments, we're in quite steep terrain, you know, so a lot of the time you buy a lot of land. I think my plot is nearly 3,000 square meters, but you can hardly use some of it, you know, because it's on a slope, but that slope guarantees you the privacy, doesn't it? Which is nice. So, you know, you build your platform, then you put your house on, and then the rest of it is just left to
but it also provides, you know, easier maintenance.
Yeah.
Imagine if you would have to maintain 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 square meters of manicured gardens.
Yeah.
So obviously we need those square meters to be able to have the square meters to build, which is normal. Again, it's interesting sometimes to explain this to clients. You can't use the whole plot. Well, you can, but you can't. You need it.
Yeah.
But again, you know, you don't have the maintenance of it.
Do you know, speaking of the maintenance, we've got a south-facing garden, right? So it gets all of the sun all of the day. And I think the pros are you've got space around you, usable space as well. The problem we've got is that our house is on a well system, and the water coming in this time of year is a bit slower. So the irrigation you have to have on less. So the garden looks pretty, the grass is not great at the moment. So it's a tough one, isn't it? Because you want the space, but then, you know, that's the usable space. But sometimes the pros of not having all that space is the fact that you've just got a bit of land around you. You don't have to build on that or use it. It's better for maintenance, definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? There's always pros and cons.
Yeah.
Nowhere's perfect. In terms of the other gated communities, because we did get a question on YouTube actually about this, about, you know, where are these gated villa communities? Because there's lots of gated apartment developments, but if you want to buy a villa and you want that extra layer of security, so I've named a few: Zagaleta, Madrigal, we've got Montemayor, Marbella Club Golf. Any others?
Yeah, well, we have Parcelas del Golf
Yes.
in Nueva Andalucía, which
That's
is
quite a
also
small little development, isn't it?
it's quite small, but it's very, very sought after. Obviously, you are within walking distance to amenities. You can even walk down to Port Banús and to the beach.
But you're on the lower strip there, really.
You
aren't
are on
which
the
is
lower
great.
strip. You don't get the views,
Yeah.
but it definitely has its benefits. It's quite sought after. And then we have a new and brand new development that is going to be constructed within Nueva Andalucía,
The Avenue, yeah.
Andalucía as well, which is super interesting. The Avenue. So
But again, the plot sizes are smaller,
the
aren't they?
plot sizes are smaller. You will not get what you get up here, for example. I mean, we are talking
Yeah.
roughly, if we get to 1,000, it's a lot.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because if you were to first go into Los Flamingos, for example, you've got the barrier, you've got somebody on security there. But it's a looser, would you say that's a looser gated environment, really,
It's a
isn't
bit
it?
like Sierra Blanca. Now, Sierra Blanca is probably the closest competition in terms of prestige to La Zagaleta.
Yeah.
But Sierra Blanca, it's a public road. So anyone can drive through. Okay, you've got big security guards there, but the barriers just go pop, pop every time. And I know that they did try and close a lot of the avenues, but they're not allowed to.
But they've got number recognition, haven't they?
They've got a lot of other measures in place, and I went up there for a meeting with a client the other day, and within seconds the guards were there, like, who are you and what's going on? So it clearly works. but I know that it's not the most secure. It's not like Zagaleta where it's kind of like you're not coming
I think
in.
Cascada de
Yeah.
Camohan is
Cascada de Camohan is a better option. If security
Yeah.
It
is,
is. It
if
absolutely is.
security is bothering you, then Cascada de Camohan, which is right next door to Sierra Blanca, it's
Yeah.
part of Sierra Blanca
Yeah.
really. That is a little bit older money. The plot sizes are a little bit bigger, but it definitely has that. You're not coming in.
No, you're not. You're definitely
You're
not.
not.
If you're not registered, okay, turn around. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. That's
And I
it.
think
Whereas
Well,
Sierra Blanca
yeah.
is like quite small plot sizes. I think
Yeah.
the average plot is like 1,200 square meters.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you're very close to your neighbours, and there's people coming in and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you know, you get what you pay for as well. And I think if you want that security, if you want the peace of mind, then there's different levels as well, isn't there,
Yeah.
that you can choose.
Definitely, like you say, Los Flamingos, it's a soft barrier
Yeah.
really.
It is.
So actually, the most protected elements of Los Flamingos are the apartments because they tend to have their own security as well, whereas the villas are a little bit more open. The other area I quite like is El Horoco Alto,
Yeah.
the back end of La Quinta, which is quite a steep area, but again, it's kind of one way in, one way out security. So again, if people want La Quinta or another part of Nueva Andalusia but want security, that's a really good option. And then I guess the other options would be further down the coast towards like Finca Cortesin and
Absolutely.
Sotogrande, La Reserva, places like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, Sotogrande has its own security anyway. It's a little bit soft again, but at least it has a presence. So
Yeah.
that's an area that people
It's like
might
going
look
to a
at.
different world down there, isn't it, Sotogrande?
Yeah, do you take your passport just in case?
Just in case. I know. Should we go? We're not going into the Soto thing again, though,
No.
because otherwise we'll be here all day and you'll be
will.
telling us that.
We will.
Yeah.
No, but there's so I think what we're getting to is the fact if people want peace, privacy, security, and their own villa, and they want it on a gated community, and they want a bit of land, there's not that many options.
No.
You know, okay, if you were to do without the security, then we can look at a few more options. If you were to do without the plot size, we can look at it. But to get all of those things together, we're actually limited on what we can
We
offer.
are.
Certainly in
Yeah.
this location, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you choose out those four we spoke? I know you're in one of them, so am I.
Yeah, do you know what? I think, that's a really good question. I like Cascada de Camohan
Yeah.
because the location's fantastic. You're literally just above the Golden Mile.
You are.
And I prefer it to Sierra Blanca because of the security.
Yeah.
Zagaleta I love, but I think it's very plot sensitive because Zagaleta you can end up driving 10 or 15 minutes up to the main gate and then you can end up driving 20 minutes to your house. So that's almost like a 35-minute commute. So you've got to be careful where your house is.
Yeah.
But Zagaleta is beautiful. I mean, it's stunning.
It is stunning.
It's,
It is
it's stunning,
stunning.
but
There's some nice
it's
properties
not
up
for
there.
everyone.
Yeah.
And then Marbella Club Golf I love because it's like a mini Zagaleta, but kind of without the attitude. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah,
and
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
the golf as well. I like Marbella Club
Yeah.
Golf. Yeah. What about
Yeah.
yourself, Teresa?
I would be Cascada de Camohan.
Yeah, Marbella girl, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants
You
to
know,
be
you know the
action.
fancy.
Yes.
You had to get that in. Didn't
Do you know, I-
You had to get that. No one said Montemayor.
Well, that's next door. I mean, you know, yeah, look, I
I
live
think
there,
the
you
value.
live there,
I think
so I'm already there.
value-wise.
I think value-wise, hands down. I mean, when you look at, it's a stone's throw from Marbella Club Golf Resort, isn't it? And you're paying probably a third or more less to have a similar vistas, similar environment to live in. And certainly Montemayor is amazing value for money. I know we speak very highly of it because it's our home. You know, it's got a lot going for it for sure.
We have some very, very lovely properties up here. We have,
You know, some of my favorite properties up here. I walk in there and it just feels so homey, and it's like, oh, look at
Yeah,
this.
there's a nice selection of
Yeah.
properties. I mean, if people like the location, they can get their head around where it is and how far it is from the coast,
And
even though
it's
it's
not
only
that far.
it's 12 minutes.
Yeah,
to
but
get
you
there.
know what? This
12
I have
minutes
to
and you
say,
have everything.
it doesn't matter. When we talk about Marbella Club, go, oh, it's so far back. It's not.
No.
It's 10 or 11 minutes away, isn't it? But I think when you're down here, everything is kind of micro, so it feels like, you know, I was off to Malaga the other day, and I think Sean, you went, oh, you're going to Malaga. Go to Malaga. So, yeah, it's for 40 minutes away. Oh, yeah, I know. It's a long way away. You're going to be all right. Drive careful. When are you home? When are you back? It's like, I'm going to go to Malaga. And then COVID
How many
as well.
days are you driving? How many
Yeah,
days are you
exactly.
driving? But
I
it's
know.
not. I mean, again, we have to drive.
And you
and-
do
no,
drive.
even
Yeah.
if you go to Estepona, you have to drive.
I kind of get it if you want that just that flexibility of being close to things and having things on your doorstep. I understand why people would buy in like the Avenue or La Finca de Marbella, places like that where you've got security, but you're sacrificing your plot size. So
Yeah.
you're pretty much on a housing estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are used to that where they come from. You know, people in England, they might have a detached house, but they'll have a detached house here and a detached house there.
Yeah.
They won't have 4,000 square metres of land. For me, having sampled the lifestyle of having that open space, I'm
Yeah.
not sure I could do it because you're just very close to your neighbour.
And for a lot of people, too close.
Too close. But I guess
but-
for families, it's kind of like a bridge between an apartment or a penthouse and a villa.
Yeah,
It-
and
it
actually,
depends on
some
the budget
people
again.
do like that. Some people like to be around other people.
Yeah.
I mean, when friends come up to my house occasionally, don't get many. People come up.
Friends?
Well,
Friends?
I know. I think you're due up in a few months' time. I'm not
Let's
sure.
use
I don't know.
I think that.
But a lot of people say, "Well, you've got no neighbours there. How do you? Do you feel all right about that?" I said, "Yeah, I love it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then other people need to. They want street lights. I haven't even got street lights outside.
Oh.
I know. But other people want to be
He lives
around.
in a caravan.
He just doesn't want to say it.
It is a nice caravan.
We'll check it out.
It's a nice caravan, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some people do want to be around other people. I mean, you've got a lot of
Yeah.
new developments coming up, and they're beautiful, but they just don't have the space. But if you want,
But it was like you live up here in beautiful Montemayor, but you still have the feeling of having a neighbour if you need a neighbour,
Yeah.
but you still have your privacy.
Yeah, it's not like being in the campo where it's like, you know, 2 miles to your,
With
your
a caravan.
neighbours. Exactly. You know, a pack of wild dogs.
oh,
And
it's
a
the
well,
wild, no, it's the
and a
wild
well
boar.
at the bottom, and a well
Yeah.
at the bottom of the. Oh, it's Darren's house. I'm only joking.
yeah.
But I think the new build stuff always looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
sexy. It's
Yeah.
white and clean, and but actually I don't know, and it's not cheap, as we know from our little tour out the other day when
Oh,
we went
yeah.
to look at some new
Yeah, but I have
developments.
to say, it was gorgeous. Some of the
Yeah.
property coming up now is amazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's so nice. It's so nice.
But if you had €4 million,
Yeah.
would you buy a place up here, or Zagaleta, or would you buy a place near the action? You can walk to amenities.
No, I'm happy up here because if I want to go out, which is occasional, I'll go out.
Thursday nights, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
yeah.
late and everything, yeah. But
Yeah.
let's leave that for now.
So anyway, I think we've exhausted our options for peace, privacy, and security. If you can think of any others that we've missed, I mean, we have been here a long while. We should know all these
Yeah.
places. But if
Yeah.
there's any we've missed that you think should be added to the
Stick
list,
them on the comment. Yeah.
let us know. Stick them on the comments. But other
Fill
than
out
that,
a comment form.
well,
What?
actually, what's a comment?
I don't
But I think other than
Yeah.
that, I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty good selection
Yeah.
of if you want those 24-hour security, you want some privacy, you want a decent plot size that's spread about. I think there's some pretty good options on that list that we've just given you. Anyway, that's it from us. Thank you so much to my esteemed colleagues on a
you.
very hot, steamy day. We got through it with a bit
was
of help
nice
from the
in here.
aircon.
It's
It's
lovely,
nice
isn't
in
it?
here.
The
I
air
might sleep in
conditioning.
here tonight. Till next time. Till next time.
We
take
will
care.
film that. We will film that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be interesting, won't it?
Yeah,
It's sleeping bite size with Sean.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk with Sean Willie.
I like
What?
that. That's interesting.
You'll be on cloud 9. Pillow talk with Sean.
Enough.